In this video, we're going to look at the formulas that we need to test the ANOVA hypothesis. The null hypothesis is that the means of the K populations are all equal, as opposed to the alternative hypothesis, which says that not all of the means are equal, at least one is different. Now, to test this hypothesis, we need to make three assumptions. The first assumption is that the response variable in these K populations all follow normal distribution. In other words, we can state it also as that each of the treatment level of the factor, response variable follows normal distribution. The second assumption is that in each of these populations, the variance of the response variable denoted by, say, for example, sigma squared sub 1 for the first population, sigma squared sub 2 for the second population, and so on, and they are all equal. So there is a common variance for all the K populations, and we can denote that with this notation, sigma squared. So that's the second assumption. The third assumption is that the observations made from each of these K populations, in other words, sample 1, sample 2, and so on through sample K, all of these samples are independent. So these three assumptions are needed for us to be able to test the hypothesis. So what we have now is K samples, sample 1 from the treatment 1 for the factor, sample 2, and sample K. Now we summarize each of these samples with n sub 1, n sub 2 through n sub k denoting the sample sizes, x bar sub 1, x bar sub 2, and so on, representing sample means, and s squared sub 1, s squared sub 2, representing the sample variance. Now let's look at the testing procedure for the ANOVA hypothesis. Now we're going to look at two different estimates for this common variance sigma squared. And these two variance estimates are called between treatments estimate of variance, which is also known as mean squared due to treatments, MSTR. And a second estimate within treatments estimate of the variance, which is also called mean squared due to error, or MSE. Now in these two variance estimates, the first one is a good estimate only if null hypothesis is true. If null hypothesis is false, then MSTR will be a really high value. The second estimate is a good estimate irrespective of whether the null hypothesis is true or not. So let's look at the formulas for these two estimates. So the between treatment estimate, or MSTR, we have to first find SSTR using this formula, where x bar sub j is the sample mean for sample j, and x double bar is the overall sample mean of all the sample means. Then this has a degrees of freedom of k minus 1, k being the number of treatments. And if we divide the degrees of freedom into the SSTR, we get MSTR. Next is within treatments estimate, also known as mean square error, MSE. We first find the sum of squares of error using this formula, where s squared sub j, or the variance of each of the samples. And this has degrees of freedom n sub t minus k, where n sub t is the sum of all the sample sizes, and that gives us MSE. Now we can put all of this information in a table, and we call this table ANOVA table, where we have treatment, SSTR, degrees of freedom, divide degrees of freedom into SSTR, we get MSTR. Then we have error, and SSE is the sum of squares of error. Here is the degrees of freedom. You divide the degrees of freedom into SSE, we get MSE. Notice that the sum of SSTR and SSE will give you SST, the sum of squares total. Now this ratio will be close to 1 if null hypothesis is true, in which case both give you MST or and MSC, they both give us good estimate of the common variance. But if the null hypothesis is not true, then MSTR will be a large value, so F becomes a large value as well. The more null hypothesis is not true, the larger the F value will be, and the smaller will be the P value given by F dot this dot RT. So if the P value is small enough, smaller than level of significance alpha, then we can reject the null hypothesis. So this is the theoretical basis for the hypothesis test, the ANOVA hypothesis test. Now we look at a numerical example in Excel, and this procedure is common for both observational study as well as experimental study. So in an experimental study, it's also called randomized design. In a randomized design, you again have the same ANOVA hypothesis and the same testing procedure. We'll now look at an Excel example.